Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of The Wrap right here on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel. Happy Tuesday night to you all as you're back here live to talk all things WWE as we get ready for Crown Jewel going down live in Perth, Australia this Saturday on ESPN and Netflix internationally at a decent, respectable hour of 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Keila Cash, and by my side, as always, is my co-captain, my right hand for now, the still advocate for the rapidly improving Miss Jada Parker from NXT. I bring to you back on the Wrap live, as always, the one, the only, in this case, Babyface, Scott Young. Welcome back, Babyface Salty.
Thank you for having me, Keila. As always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have, and I guarantee it's going to be more exciting than what we got at the showdown.
Now, Fernando, one of our great loyal supporters and listeners, he said Showdown was very entertaining tonight. And Scott might have a very dissenting opinion by the time this show is done, Fernando. He might smash your heart in a million little pieces. We shall see. Will I feel the same way to be determined? But he thought it was a very entertaining show tonight.
There were some very entertaining things on the show. I will 100% say that.
Good or bad, to be determined. But we're here to talk about it right here for your listening pleasure. But I would be remiss if I don't mention a couple of things because we went live last week. I wanted to get our feet wet, get the viewing audience accustomed to us. But now let's dive in head first all the way because I have to discuss something that Scott Sky did on the socials like around 24 hours ago when a certain king went on the socials and said he had a second decision to make. And when he said that, the ticket price for the season finale game for the LA Lakers soared. The secondary market went off, thinking they were about to purchase the ticket to witness LeBron James's last game in the NBA. Well, lo and behold, come to find out, this man is in fact not hanging up the sneakers just yet. He is just simply launching a liquor line. Go booze go. You tease.
Listen, he is the king for a reason. That was nothing but a flex. He just wanted to remind the league, Adam, and now everybody else, Shay, all these guys, all these other faces of the league. He just wanted to remind the world the NBA revolves around me. So if I just say I got a decision, what's going to happen? It's on my time. He's purely a power play right there. My man was just flexing. Shout out to Hennessy.
Shout out to Hennessy, who was not a presenting sponsor of this program, by the way. We would love for them to actually buy ad time to support us. We would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I will say that in this instance, King James did a very savvy business move, and he moved tickets for the last game of the season 8 months in advance. I can imagine the sell-back market is high today.
That he might not play it. If
If
play it next year, he probably won't play. So, hey, real quick though, you drink Hennessy?
Sparingly. Sparingly.
So that's a no. That's a no.
LeBron is not going to convince me to go buy a bottle of Hennessy on a regular basis. So, shout out to him. Great entrepreneur, fantastic businessman. The fact that he sold tickets for his last game of the season, knowing for all intents and purposes, he will be on, what is that keyword? Load management as he awaits to play in.
First of all, First of all, you were the 3 seed last year, and the whole play-in thing has not benefited us. We were 7 seed. Okay, so like, first, okay. Secondly, let's talk about the Hawks. What y'all got going on with ball play?
Listen, first of all, y'all got bounced as a 3 seed last year. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're the 3rd seed, the 7th seed, the 8th seed, you're getting bounced in the first round. As for my Hawks, so listen, my expectations are low, but the East is wide open. Injuries are plenty. Anybody can win the East this year on any given Sunday, any given weekend, any given playoff series. There's a free shot out there. You got Cleveland and you got Philly, maybe if they're healthy. Milwaukee, perhaps Giannis cares enough. New York, obviously, still in the mix. Orlando could be a factor. But I will tell you this right now, before the season starts, my bold coming out of the East that could shock people because of how weak things are right now. The Detroit Pistons will be a surprise team in the East because of the Pacers being hurt and the Boston Celtics being hurt.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Detroit, I think they'll continue their slow and steady rise like they've done. Cade Cunningham will take another step. He's still one of the top guards in the league. So yeah, for sure. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, see, I know ball very well. Orlando Magic, another potential sleeper team this year because of the weakness of the Eastern Conference with those injuries to the Celtics and the Pacers, unfortunately. So we'll see how the East shakes. It is softer. The West is going to be very, very competitive this year. Scott obviously thinks that the Lakers have a shot. They don't. I'm just trying to set his expectations very low for this year. So that is our preview of the NBA regular season. That's what we do here on The Wrap. We'll talk about it a bit more when the season starts in a couple of weeks on NBC, which I have to get used to for the first time in 20 plus years, will not be on TNT. So that's a little preview for the NBA regular season. And before we get to wrestling, as we tend to do too, I haven't asked this question of Scott in quite some time, and he might be on the brink of giving up on this show because I dared him to watch it. But for those of you who don't know, Scott is an avid reviewer, watcher, connoisseur, and torment watcher of the all-time great CW imported drama, Sullivan's Crossing. And I just want to know how far Scott is on his rewatch of said show on Netflix.
Yeah, I just started season 2. Lorelai's ex-lover, he just fell out. So now he's in the hospital. Chad Michael Murray his way out of town. So there's that. We got old girl just drilled a hole in somebody's head while on a cave after he fell because she had to release some pressure in his skull. So she did that. And then she went to court and almost went to jail for killing somebody else's kid. So we're off to a great start here on season 2.
What a lovely synopsis of what's going on. People's heads getting drilled, holes in heads. We got One Tree Hill crossovers, people leaving the show. So I really enjoy your takes. And of course, I gave Scott casting news for season 4, have him locked in heading into the next season too.
One more thing as well. There was another black person, saw a black extra. There was also a black person in the courtroom as well. So wow. I think we're up to like 5 black people on the show. I'm getting a little worried we might become a little diverse here. So
look at them diversifying the portfolio to make the show a bit more colorful. I appreciate that. When you are a show that's being aired on the Melanated Network, the CW, you must present diversity. And they're trying here. They're going to cast at least 1 black person a week. And I'm here for that. And maybe one of them will be a recurring cast member on this show heading into season 4. Scott has very low hopes of that. But he's on this journey to recap and watch this show for his torture and for our pleasure. But in the meantime, noted baller Fernando also notes that the Bucks and the Knicks are in trade talks for the Greek Freak. Well, there's still a little bit of time before the regular season starts, but apparently those moves probably won't happen if they haven't happened right now.
I'm here for the mayhem. Giannis in New York would be a sight to see.
It would. Box office immediately. Would it make a difference? Possibly. What would New York have to give up? Would be the question as well.
I'm thinking I'm thinking Mikel.
Yeah.
If I'm New York, I'm trying to keep Jalen and Cat. I think Cat,
Yes.
Giannis, and Jalen's a good trio. So OG, I'm gonna try to keep. But my first people I'm gonna give up is Mitchell Robinson, Mikel. You might have to give up McBride. I mean, that's a nice shooter off the bench, but you might have to give him up. You've kind of bolstered your bench a little bit. So that's who I'm offering off top, and then whatever draft stock you got.
Yeah. The Villanova Knicks might be like one and done if they do that. So we'll see if a trade happens between now and the start of the NBA regular season in just 2 weeks' time. And might talk about it because I'm sure we will have the games on in the background because we know game 2 on NBC will be the Lakers versus the Warriors. Of course it is. Of course it is. All righty. So you know what? Take the crown off your head right now. Let's just jack that right off your head. We're not doing that right now. But that was our NBA talk with a little splash of Sullivan's Crossing to get your appetite weighed for the beginning of this show, which is going to be a good one as we preview Crown Jewel going down live in Perth, Australia this Saturday on ESPN and, of course, Netflix internationally. We'll get to all of that shortly. But let's get to some SmackDown talk from this past Friday. You know, the show was there. It existed. It was fine for what it was. But I do want to talk about them trying to implement youth on this show by utilizing NXT talent such as the double champ Soruka, who is the reigning defending Speed and Women's North American champion, as well as Javon Evans. And they won their matches this past Friday on SmackDown. And maybe they need to see the future through the youngsters' eyes, tap into that fountain of youth and realize that maybe we need to shake up our show and switch up the formula because what we've been doing lately hasn't been working. So let's call up some young talent, push them, market them, have them win. And I don't know, just maybe potentially get over with the people organically in the process. And I think Scott just froze on me at this exact moment, which is horrifying. He'll be back soon. So as expected on this show, it happens at least once a week that we have a Rey Mysterio Booyaka moment. We got Jinx. We're going to get Scott back here as soon as possible. But I do love the utilization of Soruka and Javon Evans on SmackDown thus far. They're very talented in the ring. They have something that is intangible. The gift of doing what very few people can do with their athleticism and gifts in the ring, and they're being pushed on SmackDown somewhat. Will it result in a main roster call-up? I surely don't know as of yet, but I feel like they are really tapping into something very special with Javon specifically, and I agree with Fernando that he has an amazing few weeks on NXT and the main roster, and maybe the higher ups are starting to realize that he does have something special that you can utilize and push on a regular basis. And I think they need to realize that you don't have to wait until you're 30, 35 years old to get a push. He's 21 right now. He can be a champion in WWE. He can be a champion in WWE within the next year or so. So I think they definitely need to capitalize on that momentum while they can. As Scott taps back in, hopefully unfrozen, as I rambled a bit about our first topic, if you heard me, regarding Soruka and Javon Evans making a splash on SmackDown.
Yeah, first of all, Rey Mysterio, up yours. So keep your booties to yourself, all right? Yeah. And as far as everything you said, I think you're spot on as far as the youth movement. From what I heard before I got Booyaka out of here, but I'm back now. And I think the whole, and Evans especially, because this dude has just been on a roll here lately. Best match at a takeover nobody will remember. And he has consistently been one of the best things on NXT. He shows up on SmackDown, has one of the best matches you'll see on SmackDown all year with Sami Zayn. Him and Rey Fenix, they're a really good team together. They have great chemistry. There was a time when he who shall not be named this guy would give these young people a chance. Remember Chris Masters in the Master Lock? This dude was like 23 years old and was running through everybody, was putting everybody to sleep with the Master Lock. And there was a point in time where he was in this triple threat in a submission match with John Cena for the WWE title and Kurt Angle. And it's like, oh, he might win this because there was a believability in young people getting pushed. Randy Orton, 24, winning the title against Voldemort. There's a reason for that, and that's because he was given the opportunity at a young age to mold, to continue. They're not doing that no more. It's like they don't have the faith in the young people to just give them that rocket and run. Like Braun Breaker, yeah, he's in a great tag team with Bronson Reed, but this dude should be on his way, and he's not. And it's kind of the same thing with Evans. They just don't seem to want to let the young guys get pushed, and I'm not sure why that is. So Ruka could take over that women's division, but they're not going to let her.
And that's disheartening when you say it like that, because she should take over that division. And I have to be very braggadocious here with us, because we have been prophets on this show. We have predicted many things. We have prophesied the future for many a star in WWE that came up the ranks from NXT. Prime example, LA Knight. We both said, 4 years ago, he was going to be a big time star on the main roster. We were correct. We called out Braun Breaker for being a future WrestleMania main eventer. That is to be determined, but the trajectory suggests that is going to be the direction for his career in the next 3 to 5 years. We said the same thing about Soruka. I think I was a bit more bullish than Scott is, but I think he's coming around a bit more because she's improved rapidly in the last year or so, and she has what it takes to really be a difference maker in that division. And Javon Evans, I think, is someone that could really be a future WWE champion in the next 2 to 3 years if they just get out of their own way and push the guy. And when you see his interviews and hear what he has to say, he's very mature. He's tapped in with the legends who he's getting advice from, mentorship from. I mean, the biggest of big names in this business that he is getting advice from in terms of honing your craft, getting better, improving. And if they don't utilize that, then it's malpractice by everyone in WWE, because that guy is can't miss. And the fact that Shawn Michaels, who we get on this show lovingly, like, he saw something in him a couple of years ago and said, you know what? Despite his size, despite his youth, I want you to sign him because I see his potential. He fought for Javon. He fought for Carmelo. So I'm like, Shawn has a great eye for talent because he sees a lot of these guys in himself as the underdog, as a guy that was undersized, but they had so much talent that you cannot deny them on the main roster. So I hope that is the laser focus, and I hope that is what they focus on heading into the future of this company. Because if you keep waiting, the fans are going to just pass you right on by because they get tired of waiting and getting teased constantly for that big moment to come for that star.
Fernando, he got a comment. Can you put that comment that says about Javon should replace Randy Orton? Put that one up. See,
yeah,
I like that. And this is legit the best opportunity you have of, and it's not Randy's fault, but of replacing Voldemort out of history. That's what that's what you want to do. You want to get him away from history where you don't even have to mention him, have any question. Who did Randy Orton beat? You don't have to worry about asking that anymore. When you have Evans, who's right there, who's on the cusp, who's ready. Like, and this is why I didn't agree with the Ricky Saints winning the title, because I think Evans should have had a nice little run on NXT and got caught up, and like, let him be a Cinderella story. Let him be that Cinderella story that like an NCAA in the March Madness. Let him take that and win that dance. Like, I don't know, man. He's so different from everything else and like in the history of WWE when it comes to the younger talent that they push. He would change. I think he would change the trajectory of what we look for and what we see as a future star. Like, and I think if he succeeds and if he's given the ball and succeeds and can run with it, I think we'll see more young people doing that. But I just don't know if Trips is going to do that.
Trips got to get out of his own way and listen to his best friend in Orlando that is booking NXT and say, hey, I see the vision for the future. And he's one of the guys right there. So Ruka, as Fernando says, she's the future right there if you just push them and utilize them. And the other key is you have to strike while the iron is hot, because if you don't, these moments pass you by. You can't get them back. You can try to reheat those nachos, which is a new saying for this year, but it's not going to taste the same if you reheat them 6 months, a year too late, when you could have did this 6 months earlier. So I'm hoping that WWE is very self-aware and that they book the talent they have accordingly and rely on the youth. That's the key. They're young, they're hungry, they're talented. They could add so much juice to your divisions respectively. Just push them. And Javon, I just think that the sky's the limit. He's so great. I think I made that comparison very Osprey-like in terms of a special talent that comes by once every 20 years. And Javon definitely fits that category. And what's scary is the fact that he's not in his prime yet. That is frightening, because once he really hits that prime and in his 30s, guy's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, he's got a very, very bright future.
Let's keep that head on straight. Keep the focus. He's got it for sure. So hopefully SmackDown keeps utilizing the talent from NXT, call them up, push them accordingly, give them a fair shot, and let's see where it goes from there. So good topic, good talking point there. That was all about SmackDown we can talk about, because the show was just, there. It existed. As we head to Monday Night Raw, going down live in Dallas, Texas, the last stop in the U.S., heading into Crown Jewel this Saturday on ESPN, live from Perth, Australia. And I want to talk about a match in particular that definitely got my attention. It was the women's Intercontinental champion Becky Lynch versus Maxxine Dupri. So one thing we know about Becky Lynch is that she is persistent. That if she sees someone that is not being used on television and she sees their potential, she is going to advocate for them to be pushed on TV by way of having a match with her. So they had this match a couple of months ago. It was all right. This match was a redo. It was longer. It was more competitive. The fans were really into Maxxine Dupri. And I have to say, this was Maxine's best match ever in her life. She went out there and she was competitive. She was even with Becky Lynch. And Becky is just one of the greats to ever do it. And that's just not me saying it. Becky says it all the time. But she goes out there and she recognizes potential. And she said, I will do whatever I have to do to make sure this talent is highlighted accordingly. I will go out there and do what I have to do to shine a light on someone who is trying. And I thought the match was very good. I love the finish because Becky got in Jessica Carr's face one too many times and Jessica fast counted, as she should. You get in my face, yes, I'm going to screw you over, and what you going to do about it? I wasn't mad at the finish. It made sense. Maxxine got the count out victory, and it leans into a rematch, possibly for that title down the road.
I'm a little bit more torn on it. The finish, I think it would have been a little bit more if I got a little bit more of a fast count. It's like we only got one count. It was just a 9-10. And I would have, if it had been more of like a 8-9-10, then, because I don't know. Becky, arguably one of the greatest women of all time in WWE history, doesn't hear the ref at 7, 8. I don't know about that. But I agree with you about the match. I thought the match was solid. I like Maxxine doing literally anything she can, even the foot on the ropes, which I thought was a bit much, but that's okay. At that point, you're just desperate, and you can't argue with crowd reaction. And the crowd was on. I mean, they were ready for Maxxine to win that match. They were completely ready for her to win. And I think if she would have won, that place would have erupted. I mean, it would have went crazy. So you can't argue with that. But I do question the finish a little bit. And as far as I like the idea, I just don't like it being Becky Lynch. Like that's not something she wouldn't fall for that. That's not something I see her doing. Now, if there was somebody out there, if like AJ Lee was out there, or if just the music played or something along those lines, okay, that's a little bit more believable. But her just doing that on her own, it's a bit much. But that's me just nitpicking and just having me. I just don't think Becky Lynch, it's her character, would even do something like that. Like I just think she's too aware of that. But that's me just nitpicking.
I will push back a little bit in saying that this is a different Becky Lynch, that she's a little bit snobbish. She's a little bit bougie right now. So she would actually not hear the count. Like, I'm so in my own world right now that I think I got this, and she just forgets to count. I can plausibly believe that because of the character that she's playing. She's so arrogant to think, 10 count, they're not going to count me out. I got time. I can be loose and fast with the count if I get back in the ring in time. So I can believably see that she would forget because of this character right now being so vapid and arrogant. But I do like the fact that Maxxine got this opportunity, and you cannot deny, as Scott said, crowd reactions. The crowd loves Maxxine. They like her. She's someone you want to root for. She works very hard. And you see the training videos of her with Natty at the dungeon in Florida, working, perfecting. I see that. And I think one of the pitfalls of the TKO ownership of WWE is the fact they cut back on the house shows, because for all the practice in the world, nothing beats real-time experience on the road, just getting those reps in, working matches, getting your rhythm, gaining experience that way. I know Maxxine is doing a little bit of that on NXT, which is a blessing for them. And they're working out of Florida a bit more, going in different states, different cities. And it's really working on reps and practice and just trying to get the basics down. If she had more of that, I think that she'd be progressing far more than where she is right now. But for what we see, she has improved a lot. And Becky clearly sees something in her to have this match be what it was last night, and to possibly go back and do it again for the IC title next time.
Yeah, I mean, and I love Jessica Carr though. I think her reaction. I think they built that part up really well. Like, I thought their interactions throughout the entire match, her really kind of bucking up at Jessica, and Jessica being like, "Yo, I'm not taking this no more." Like, you could just see it building and building. So I did like that aspect of it. But I think the biggest thing to come out of all this, which has got to be talked about, is Becky Hogan. I mean, right? Right? I mean, Becky Hogan, right? I mean, like, that's what I was told. I think Becky Lynch is one of the more giving wrestlers, male or female, at their level they've ever had. And like, people think it's all about like wins and losses, and yes, they matter. But like, think about how good Maxxine looked. Even if she lost this match, people still would have talked about how good Maxxine looked in this match, how competitive it was. And that's all because of Becky Lynch. The good match she had is because of Becky Lynch. Ask AJ Lee. I bet you she's happy she was in the ring with Becky Lynch. So the Becky Hogan thing, that's dead to me. And I think she should fall right into, like, I still think she should wear the red and yellow. I think enough time has passed. I think she could get away with it. I think she should just go right into it and be that delusional person, because if that's what they want you to be, then be it. Because she's not. Like, and this match is a pure case in point of that.
She's the opposite. She could rock the red and yellow, the black and white. She could really rock both colors, and they're accurate. But it's just like, Becky is everything that I want a superstar to be. And if I was a wrestler and Becky Lynch was backstage and she pointed her finger at me, I feel anointed because she sees something in me and she wants to work with me and she wants to create magic and we want to do a match and a rivalry and a feud. Like, I want her to find me backstage and say, yeah, I want to work with you because I see something in you. Like, she has a great eye for potential talent to stand out. She's done it time and time. She's done it time and time and time again. We went through the litany of names she's elevated in the last 2 or 3 years on this run. And I just think that it's time for people to truly put some respect on Becky's name and understand the meaning of what being a Hogan is all about in the worst possible way in terms of selfish booking. Becky is one of the more selfless people in this industry who gives constantly to others to elevate them and to leave them better than where they were before. Period.
Yep, but that's okay. When she starts hitting people with the leg drop as her finish, don't be upset.
She should actually do that just to spite the hell out of people.
Just say it, man. Big boot leg drop.
Yes, absolutely. So our next topic is going to be Roman Reigns. Oh, Roman Reigns. It feels like we're back in the year 2022 and there's gaslighting in the bloodline. You don't know where we're going from here. So Roman shows up last night on Monday Night Raw. He challenges Bronson Reed to a match. It's official. An Australian Street Fighter Crown Jewel, a match that Bronson Reed will lose because, hello, you beat up Roman in Paris and you think that you're going to win this match. I highly doubt it. Great showcase for you in your hometown, though, but you will lose. And so we cut to Roman interacting with Jimmy and Jey Uso. And you're trying to figure out what Roman's angle is. Because is he proud of Jey taking the initiative? Or are you a little upset with Jey for being outshined by the CM Punks and the LA Knights of the Monday Night Raw main roster? Because he says, listen, you should be chasing championships right now. You should be a champion, but you're not. Who's opening up the second hour of Monday Night Raw? CM Punk, not you. Well, it says it all right there, what you're not doing. So, And then you think about what Roman said to Jimmy. What are you doing? Are you checking your brother? What's going on? Is he up too far up in the clouds right now to really see the bigger picture? So Roman is playing both sides against Jimmy and Jey, and you're trying to figure out what's really going on here. I love it. It's very clever, very next level in terms of you don't know where this is going to go because you kind of do see Jey becoming a mini Roman, as a few people called him last night on Monday Night Raw. Jimmy's on the fence. He does not like Roman's influence on Jey at all. So you really don't know where this is going to go and how far Roman's leaning into this mess either way.
I'm still under the impression that Roman's going to become Jay's wise man. I'm still leaning into that because I think this all ends with Jey Uso becoming the tribal chief. You know, there is a story where Roman cost Seth Rollins the World Heavyweight title against Jey Uso. Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble, then we get Sami versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title. There's a story there. Like, you have different things that you could do with Jey Uso as the tribal chief. But I just see that's how I see this ending. And Jimmy is going to get beat down. He's got fatherly things to get ready for. He's got fatherly things to do. So he's going to get that beat down on the way out. And that's going to be that final push. Whether Roman is smiling in the corner as a proud papa, or whether Roman is doing the bidding for Jey Uso because he is now the tribal chief, Jimmy gone.
Jimmy has other obligations pending. Yep. You know, he's going to be on paternity leave imminently, I do believe once the bump starts showing, he's out. Like once that bump starts showing, because at last check, the baby's already doing drop kicks in the womb. That was a legit ultrasound, which was wild. So yeah, so once the bump starts showing, he's going home immediately. It is wild that that kid's already drop kicking with accuracy. Genetics already on top.
I don't think I ever seen Jimmy throw a drop kick, so that's purely coming from Naomi. So
Clearly,
it wasn't a super kick, so we know that didn't come from Jimmy.
No, absolutely. If that baby did a super kick in the womb, I'd be like, wow. But drop kick definitely got it from my mama. Definitely got it from their mama for sure. So Jimmy's going to be definitely on leave soon. I do believe that. And the question is, will it be because Jay takes him out? I don't know. And I do love Scott's theory that it could be Roman being the wise man for Jay, because he is the next in line. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to the original tribal chief, not Solo. It's going to be him, but how we get there is going to be very interesting. They're telling a very clever story right now, and that is a bonus for Monday Night Raw. They tell stories, and I wonder, why don't we get that on SmackDown? And then I realized who writes SmackDown: Road Dogg. So you're not going to get any nuance or storytelling on that show. Monday Night Raw, you will.
Yeah, shout out to VKM, man, and the Voodoo Magic. Listen, you said it right there. Like, and let's not get carried away. Raw has a couple stories. Let's not go overboard. The women, they have a soap opera going on, so that's their own thing, and we know Triple H has nothing to do with that because that's too coherent, and I'm enjoying it. So. It ain't got nothing to do with him. But the other things that's going on, okay, he's got a couple stories going on.
I will wager to bet there are at least 4 stories going on. 4. You want me to count them? 4 stories.
Yeah, and listen, not the soap opera does not count because he cannot have anything to do with that.
Okay, so we're gonna discount the soap opera, okay, because someone from Soaps is probably writing that, who has an Emmy for best writing in a drama series.
It's the black dude on Zoom.
Most likely that we don't see in person, but he's cooking on Zoom. Absolutely. He sends his scripts via email and he's killing it. Facts. So we're going to set that aside. One story that I know is, of course, the Bloodline saga that will never end, but as a new chapter. Mm-hmm. The second story is whatever's happening with Bayley and Lyra. That is a story.
Okay.
That is a story.
That 100%.
Bayley's many personalities.
For sure.
Another story is Seth and Paul Heyman. Their dynamic. That is a story about Seth's inferiority complex when it comes to losing to Cody again and trying to be better than Roman Reigns. That is a story, and how Paul is playing into that. Is he truly for him or is he an op? We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know.
Okay. You're at 3. What's this 4th one?
Judgment Day. That is a story. That is a story regarding, well, we're trying to decide whether or not who's going to turn on who. Will it be Finn or will it be Dominic? That is a story. And man, the Americanos. That is a story too.
For the last 2 years with Judgment Day and Finn and Dom.
And they milking that cow for all it's worth. They got Americanos in there that are pretending to be luchadors who are really European. Come on. There's layers to this.
Okay. All right. You know what? I enjoy. Here comes David. Here comes David. Never mind what I was going to say. Shout out to David, man. Keeping me on my toes.
Yes. Providing information that is not factual, but we appreciate David nonetheless.
Soul ain't going nowhere. She's snatching souls from MLW, but she ain't going over there.
No, she's not. She's not. And Fernando says Raw was the best Raw in months last night. I have to say it was a pretty good show. There have been some good Raws in the last few months, I must say. I will say this Raw was quite long. I was like,
the
whoa,
Roman
is this?
Effect.
Yo, like, listen, I like my Netflix on Monday Night Raw at a snug 2 hours and 15 to 30 minutes. We pushing that USA hour of 3. No, we ain't doing 3. Like, I don't want that in my life. No, we was pushing very, very close to that. And I was getting sleepy. So I need Roman to chill.
It was a good Raw, though.
It was a very good Raw. I was entertained thoroughly, very much so. As we get to our next topic, and I say this with love, the never-ending but compelling trio of LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. And I thought to myself, this is some lazy shit, because we just saw y'all beefing at Clash in Paris a couple of months ago, fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. But then when I see this dynamic of everybody having a plausible, somewhat good reason for vying for this championship, I was entertained. And I know there might be some pushback sometimes against whether or not LA Knight should be a part of these moments. Should he be cooking on the microphone? Yes, because you know what? LA Knight has been over for 3 years, has not lost a bit of that pop, heat, popularity. And it is a fact that he is the last man to beat Seth Rollins in a match clean. 1, 2, 3. Even if Rollins faked an injury for his knee, he still beat the man clean as a sheet. He has that moreover than CM Punk and Jey Uso for that matter. So if he's talking that talk, he can back it up. CM Punk, circumstances, you won, then you lost again. So that kind of X out your case there. Jey Uso, you might have a claim that you never got your rematch against Gunther for the championship. But once again, you've been losing too as of late. So who truly deserves a shot? And it all comes down to a tag team match last night with CM Punk and LA Knight teaming up against the Usos, and LA Knight scoops the win, gets the W, and walks away as the last man standing tall to wrap up Monday Night Raw. Yes, it's a tedious, tiresome trio, but I am still entertained, even though I know how this is going to end, with Seth Rollins still the World Heavyweight Champion.
And this is why Adam Pearce is the worst GM. Okay. Listen, first of all, LA Knight got cooked on the mic. So let's just throw that out there. Okay. CM Punk threw that man off 2 or 3 times during their little exchange. Levels. Jey Uso just come out there, just get the crowd hype, get them all fired up. And I'm as big a LA Knight as anyone, but when I saw CM Punk do that, I saw levels. And maybe that's just me, but LA Knight is in the Dolph Ziggler role. Like he is going to be that upper mid card guy that's going to stay just relevant enough. And actually, let me rephrase that. He is where Ricochet was. He is, because that is kind of where Ricochet would stay, right below, right above all the mid carders, but right below all the main eventers. That's LA Knight. And secondly, the Usos just lose tag matches now, huh? That's just what they do. They're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. It was a big deal for them to reunite at WrestlePalooza. They lose to the Bron, and now we're losing to LA Punk. Like, what's going on?
One of life's great questions. The shade that CM Punk threw, hey, you should be a tag team with your brother. That's what you're good at. And then they lose. So they're not good at that either. So it's like, what are you talking about? And then I will say, listen, CM Punk, one of the great talkers there are, and there is in this business, did get LA Knight rattled a few times. He did. Because if you're trying to go bar for bar, you have to be able to improvise and think on your feet quickly. And CM Punk just has that gift. LA Knight was thinking, he was like, ooh, how do I respond? You don't think, you just do. There's a flow, a back and forth, and a cadence you have to pick up on, because I know you follow your script and you get to follow your script and follow the promo bullet points. I get it. But when a CM Punk is going to level you with a shot, you have to counter just as much. And when you fall short of that, you do get E-word exposed a bit. But I still enjoy LA Knight. Like the dude, for all of what he's been through, and you're right, he might be the Dolph Ziggler who will be the perennial underdog, who will get you this far, won't win the big one, but he will tease you, he will pop you, he will make you believe that it could happen. It won't happen, but he'll get you right on the edge. And I do appreciate that. There's a spot for him there, and I think at some point he should be rewarded for that. Will it be with the World Heavyweight Championship? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I will say, when the lights are on very bright in the ring, that guy always delivers. At a PLE, you can rely on LA Knight to ball out. And that I cannot dispute at all.
No, I won't disagree with you on that. He definitely holds his own in the ring. But yeah, way too good of a talker to be left getting stunned like that off of a couple. My man had his own thing flipped on him and had nothing for the rebuttal. You're too good for that, LA. But it's all good. He'll be ready next time, I bet.
Oh yes, he will be ready. Like when Drew McIntyre surprised him, he'll be ready next time. He'll be ready.
You saw what Tiffany did to Charlotte next time.
Oh Lord Jesus,
Jesus Christ,
Lord have mercy. And as I said last week on this show,
here we go.
Yeah, I wasn't wrong about people not being together anymore. I ain't wrong when I just sense when people don't talk about each other like they used to. And the social media slowdown happens. And you buy a house and someone ain't in it. And then you work on your fitness, you get real lean and you wonder why. That's revenge body talking. Yeah.
I think it's just because Ludwig's been gone for a little bit.
Oh, stop.
He's just been gone for a little bit. He took a trip. El Grande, and all of a sudden El Grande is here. So I'm not sure if that's a coincidence, but ever since they broke up, El Grande showed up.
That's a nice try to clean that up. No.
Just saying.
No. Wrong. But let's quickly move on to Io Sky versus Kairi Sane.
There we go.
A battle of the Joshis, giving you stardom in WWE, a stiff-ass match, which I loved. I'm hearing accusations that Kairi can't work. I said, nah, y'all ain't used to seeing stiff-ass fighting in WWE. They did worse in Stardom. You want to see somebody get dropped on their head, watch a Stardom match, and they just be fine. So you need to just get used to how the Joshis work, because they will work stiff. It will be violent and gnarly, but they still get up, and it's safe as can be. What I loved before the match was that Asuka went up to Kairi and told her what you need to do tonight. And Kairi's like, I don't want to do it. I still think that we can get Io back in our family, that we just need her to apologize. We can forgive her. And Asuka said, And she slapped the shit out of Kairi and said, no, what we're going to do is you're going to go out there and you're going to work and you're going to beat her. And she said, yes, I'll do it. And then Asuka told her, good girl. I said, Asuka, that's a gangster right there, man. That's a gangster. And she went out there and she told Kairi to go out there and win. And she did, with Asuka's help, with the assist. Very surprised that Io lost before their match via tag team with Rhea Ripley against the Kabuki Warriors at Crown Jewel. And the fact that Io got jumped by Asuka and Kairi, and Rhea Ripley on this night was nowhere to be found, even though the fans in Dallas wanted a mommy appearance. So I was like, where's Rhea? Girl, you're not helping your case on Saturday. Because if Io look at you funny and she missed your ass and you weren't there, this is why. Because you weren't there for her on Monday.
Again, and Io ain't got no other friends. Don't nobody else like Io? Like nobody else like Io? I'm just saying, man. One other thing I love from the match is Io Scott started that thing off by going right at Asuka. As soon as the match started, dive through the run. Hey, let me holler at you real quick. So I love that energy. And Io Sky is, I think she's got a strong case for WWE Wrestler of the Year. Like, just period, male or female. I think she needs to be in that conversation. The stories that she's bringing, she's arguably got the match of the year with the triple threat at WrestleMania, or if you want, her versus Rhea. I mean, that classic, and then we got the classic finish with Naomi. So I think the roses and the flowers that she's getting maybe aren't enough, because I think she needs to be in serious contention for Wrestler of the Year when it all comes down to it. The consistency of the matches she's putting on, doesn't matter who she's going against. That apron bump was nasty, and she still kept going. So shout out to Io Sky, man, who I think is genuinely one of the best wrestlers they have in the company.
Yes, in the company, in the world. I'll go as far as to say that as well. If you're going to do a ballot fairly, she got to be top 5 for me in the world. If you're doing a ballot fairly, she's got to rank in the top 5 for the final tally. She has to, because she's been remarkable this year. 5-star matches, wrestling at a very high level, just killing it, getting over. She's been exceptional this entire year. Career best year, best use as a babyface by far. And the year's not done yet. There's still some work to be done heading into the end of this year. We know there's probably going to be a War Games match. She'll be in it again, and she'll kill it again, and that'll wrap up the year. But definite top 5 discussion overall in the world. I would love to see her in the mix when that voting is done to wrap up the year. I think that makes sense to me, because you got to recognize how great she's been. She's been undeniable.
And not only that, she's telling stories. Like, there have been stories layered into everything of what's going on. Rhea has been the most popular wrestler in the women's division by far, but Io has she's been the backbone. Like, she has really held that. And honestly, if you want to keep it a buck, she's been doing it for a couple years now. We could take it back to when she had that title match with Bayley. I mean, if we really want to talk about it, she's been doing this for a while. And once she got the crowd on her side, things just seemed to flip a little bit. And she seemed to take, she didn't take her game, but her popularity and her level seemed to raise, and she was elevated. When she became a babyface, her whole status was elevated in my eyes. Like, I think she took another level, and now she's I think she's right there on a Rhea level where wins against her mean something. Kyrie beating her meant something. Like, that wasn't just a fluke win. Like, she doesn't take random losses anymore. And I think that's very important in establishing her.
For sure. Fernando makes a good point too, saying that Io is the Iron Woman of the women's division. 100%. I absolutely agree. She is the ace of that division. It kind of goes through her, and she's been the anchor for a lot of this year in terms of in-ring work and what she's been able to do. And the great part about that, it's also kind of sad, is that we talk about this on the show too, is that she had to do it when she lost the championship. And when she lost the title, magically, she was able to work Monday Night Raws. She was able to appear every week. As Scott said, we're not hiding the Joshi anymore. She's here. Like, she works and she kills it, and she's consistent at being great. So it's just ironic to me that when you lose your championship, you are visible, you are seen, you're working. Or if you're Naomi, you work every week. It's amazing how that happens sometimes. Just depends on how the die is cast.
Nah, man. It's a Joshi thing. Julia don't wrestle. No. She I'm just saying, like, if a Joshi wins a title, she will get the walkout, she'll get a video package, but you will not see her except on PLEs. Period. If you're lucky.
Period. Fernando knows Io should have been booked better as women's champion. So should have Rhea, honestly. Like, can I just say that the allegations that Rhea Ripley couldn't work because she wasn't visible as a champion? What? Like, that was an actual talking point.
Nonsense.
Just ridiculousness that was on the internet. And I'm like, Rhea can't control how she's being booked. It's not going to negate how great she is. And amazingly, when she's not champion, she's visible. She's working matches, reminding people how great she is. She's popular and she's great in the ring. Who the hell thought that wasn't the case? I just want to know. Give me names.
I'm just curious as to what match this person watched and was like, oh, Rhea's not very good. Because I didn't see it.
Me neither.
I must have missed it. So, the allegations, as you call them, is just nonsense. I think at this point, there's no women's wrestler in that top tier that you could give the title to and you'd be like, they can't work. They don't have one right now.
Period. Facts. So glad those narratives are being deaded towards the end of this year, because that was a wild one. Like, what? Really?
That's just hate. That's just hate. That's all that is. That's just hate.
Yes. From a place that's very, very rude.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's get to Scott's most looked forward to topic tonight. NXT Showdown. NXT versus TNA. So Fernando, as we talked about at the top of this episode, was very happy with his show. He was entertained. And I saw the show. I was entertained by one match on the show. But I want to go down the line. And I want to go in order. Yeah. And I want to talk about each match on this card. Let's get to the first match, which was the Hardy Boys, or in this case, the Backstreet Hardy Boys versus the Flash and Lights crew, Dark State. For the title for title match, TNA titles, NXT titles, all titles on the line. Someone must walk out double champion. Let's talk about Brother Osiris. Listen, I try not to be rude. I try not to be disrespectful. But you telling me that this man, with all due respect, is ready for prime time. This man missed a whole leg drop.
Oh my God.
Within the first 5 minutes of this match. And I was like, I've seen enough. And then yet the match continued. Matt and Jeff out there just trying to keep things afloat. We got my brother over here, Dion, trying to stay afloat for his team. And then Osiris can't even have Matt Hardy on his shoulders. You a big brother who's supposed to be a base. You gonna drop Matt Hardy in the corner? Thank God we got a swanton bomb from Jeff to end this misery. This was a mess. I was like, why isn't Sugars in this tag team repping Dark State on a regular basis? The best worker with the most experience over Brother Osiris, who has a long, long way to go. And I don't mean to drag like that, but dude, this was egregious in terms of performance. Bad.
I don't have a lot to say on this. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartbreak. And that's because they lost. Tell me why. It was nothing but a mistake. They picked the wrong wrestlers. And tell me why I never, want to hear them say that I want it that way ever again when it comes to Dark State. Okay. That's all I got for that one.
You know what, Scott? I want you to quit playing games with my heart. I don't want to know the reason for being lonely after watching this match. Oh, wow. But congrats to the Hardys, because the Hardys are back. All right. Yes, I did tie all of that together because they are, in fact, larger than life. Yes, I did.
That was well done, because that's you went through a lot of their singles right there.
Listen, and one of the underrated ones to call. I could have went there too, but hey, listen.
That's trash. The call is trash.
No, it's
It's not
not.
underrated. That is trash.
No, it's
The
not.
call is trash.
No, you better put some respect on the call's name. Come on now.
It's not underrated. It's just under the ground because nobody wants to listen to it.
Sir, come on now. Listen, the last time we saw a flip phone in a video, be for real. And a beeper.
A beeper. A beeper. Yeah, I'm good on the call.
Wow, not call slander, rude. Alrighty, so those are my thoughts on that match. Oh my God, it was just rough. Oh, geez. But let's get to another match that was curious on many levels, which was Team NXT versus Team TNA, the women's edition. And we had Team NXT, the NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne, the NXT North American Champion, and the Women's Speed Champion, Soruka. We got Lola Vice and Miss Jada Parker representing Team NXT. Then Team TNA was the NXT Noted Talent and TNA Women's Knockout Champion, Kalani Jordan, the Inspiration, who happens to be the new Knockout Tag Team Champions, and Mara Sade, who just came from NXT recently as Jakara Jackson. First half of this match wasn't bad at all. I was entertained. I had fun. The crowd was into it. We had great spots. Cool. Then the second half of the match happened and everything fell apart. Just miscues, things being mistimed, sloppiness, the announcer jumping the gun to say the wrong team won. It was just a mess down the stretch. And at the end of this match, Kalani was the last woman standing, got a "You are a traitor" chant from the NXT crowd at the Performance Center, and she lost when Soul hit not quite a soul snatcher on Kalani, and JC just picked up the victory to score the win for her team. Elements of this was good. Back nine of this match was very, very ungood. I am so sorry to say.
Oh boy. So I don't even know where to start. Like the booking of this was crazy. I'm Jada Parker. Was she the first one eliminated? Was she the first or second? The first, right?
She was the first.
Like, what is going on? The questionable booking aside, and then like it's cool. All right, so you had your champion stand tall, but you did TNA no favors. You did Kalani no favors. If we're being honest, like she picked a trash team. She did nothing. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I got nothing. This 0 for 2. 0 for 2 for me.
We was batting 0 for 2. I looked at Mara and she was out there and she hit this moonsault.
Did she hit it?
No, she didn't. I said that because when she was in TNA just like 2 or 3 weeks ago, she hit it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it perfectly. I don't know what happened. And I was sad for her because I know she works hard and that was a rare miss. And I felt for her like, damn, this would have been a great moment for her to land it clean. Did not land it at all. This was just a miss across the board. Like there were glimmers of goodness in the beginning of this match. Then it all fell apart. I will say it was good to see the Inspiration back. Cassie reminds me of like, damn, if you give her time, she's still very good in the ring. That was like she was always a really good worker in the Iconics, and like in the brief moments we saw of her in this match, like it reminded me like, damn, she's a very good worker in there, I must say.
Honestly, the Iconics are kind of what you build your tag division around. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you build up your baby faces to have their big moments, and when you need a team to just carry your division, that's who does it. I mean, they can have entertaining skits. They can go well enough in the ring. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't last longer in WWE, but it's cool they got a little spotlight here.
Yes. Fernando notes this match started out clunky, but got good as time went on, in my humble opinion. I will actually say the opposite. It was good in the beginning and then it fell apart at the end. I just have to reverse it. I can concede in the beginning it was good, and then it just fell apart. I think they were rushing to the finish, rushing through the eliminations. I don't know what it was, but it felt like the beginning was very good, a nice foundation, and then it kind of fell off a cliff towards the end. I gotta say, sadly, it hurts my heart to say that, but it was a mess. And then we thought, would we get a good match on this show? Because we're 0 for 2. We had some snafus on this show, and then by the grace of the Lord above, thank you, Mustafa Ali and All Ego Ethan Page, in a match for the NXT North America Championship. Thank you both for going out there and by far having the best match on this show. You two guys went out there and you wrestled. You put on a show. You made me believe that Mustafa could actually win this damn match. The crazy dive he did to All Ego on the outside over the announce table. The cleverness of his foot getting wrapped around Booker T's headset. And then All Ego taking advantage of that to get the dub. A great professional wrestling match. If WWE has since just rehire Mustafa Ali, rehire this man, please, pretty please God, because he is so great. And Ethan Page, I cannot say this enough, he is one of the true gems of NXT. That when you need this guy to deliver a great match, he comes through for you every single time. And last night when we needed a good match, a great match, in fact, he came through.
I am starting to come under the impression that I think Ethan Page he could be on the main roster and be in the main event and make it believable. I wasn't under that thought process for a while, but the more I see him, the more I feel his matches are more important than most of everything else on the show. I'm a full believer in Ethan Page. Like I think he can do and be at any level he needs to be on the main roster whenever that moment comes, because he's been fantastic. Every title run he's had, when he doesn't have the title, he's been great. The way he's been able to him adopting the twist of fate as his finisher. Like I just love everything that he brings to the table. I echo everything you said about Ali. He's also incredible. And if he were to come, I'm a little bit more hesitant on him signing, just because I don't know where he would fit in, and I feel like he'd just get lost in the shuffle. But him being at TNA and has been able to have this type of crossover, I feel like he's in better hands with HBK than he would be under Trips. So I'm going to leave him where he's at for right now, because Lord knows if he goes to Hunter, he's going to be like, aren't you the guy who had the glowing hand? No, I remember you. Yeah, I'm going to leave him with HBK.
Listen, I will leave him with HBK forever. If I could, honestly. Listen, if we could just get NXT on the road twice a month, damn it, get them out the performance center as they rebuild a new PC and just make it like 1,000-seat arena. If y'all want to upgrade in Orlando, do what you got to do. But if we have to do that to get Mustafa back and have Sean book him, I'll take it. because he's so great. And I know that Sean would utilize him so much better than Triple H would, because he'll probably look at him and like, aren't you that guy that was in Retribution? Aren't you that guy that was real, disgruntled, and we try to do a gimmick and we cut you right before your championship match? Oopsies. Like, I don't need the energy. Now, if he was on Monday Night Raw, he might have some hope. SmackDown, hell no. Because like I said on that show, Triple H got to see you, and then Road Dogg got to book you. And those are two things that we just have to pray on. It's working for Javon right now, temporarily, but we know how fleeting that can be.
And Ali's had some bad luck. Like every time he's been in line for a big push, back when Daniel Bryan was champion, he was about to get his big push in the Elimination Chamber. He gets pulled. Kofi Mania happens. Kofi becomes champion. Brock Lesnar, he was supposed to win the Money in the Bank. Brock Lesnar says, nah, I haven't won that yet. I'll take the briefcase. I need a new boom box. So he won Money in the Bank. And then Mustafa Ali, I believe, was supposed to win the North American title that first time. And I think Trick Williams ended up taking his place, and that skyrocketed him to where he is now. So that dude is due. He's due for a big win on the WWE side, on the WWE screen.
Yes, he's been snake bitten for so long, and things that were kind of beyond his control. The stomping with a rye, Randy. I'm looking at you. I love you, Randy, but that over the bone busting. Just took away all of his hopes and dreams at Elimination Chamber that year back in 2019. Then, of course, getting released legitimately 2 days before your championship match in No Mercy just 2 years ago. And listen, I mentioned Retribution. So he's been through a lot in terms of shitty booking in WWE. And then, of course, when he was going to win Money in the Bank, he was going to win it, and they took it from him. Just snake bit booking. But hopefully, if they do bring him back in, he will get his due eventually as well. And then Fernando notes he went out there and showed WWE how much it was a mistake to release him back. And then Fernando also kind of co-signs on Scott's point that he could be one of the best heel world champions ever in WWE. And listen, there's still money in that pairing with him and Chelsea Green as well, if they do make that call up to the main roster.
I'm with you on that. I think they look great together.
Yes.
They just look fantastic together. And it doesn't even have to be any type of sexual or like them being together. They just look great and work great together. It's a great pairing.
It is. I mean, they look amazing together. Like they're very pretty people who have to be pretty together. And it's not in a sexual, romantic way at all. They just really pretty people that have great chemistry together, and they just bring out the best in each other. I love that. And they're Canadians, and added bonus too. So it might be a Canadian thing. They just kind of flow and gel together, which is always a good thing. And we're going to wrap up this point with Ali doing the best work of his career in TNA. He is. And I hope he's rewarded for it with a championship very, very soon. As we now get to the main event of Showdown, which was the which was Team NXT versus Team TNA, the men's edition. Team TNA was my dude, Mike Santana, Leon Slater, Moose, and Frankie Kazarian versus Team NXT, Trick Williams, our TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Then Ricky Saints, our NXT champion, followed by Javon Evans and Miles Bourne. Better than the women's match, but the booking was ungodly dumb down the stretch. That Trick Williams, who wanted to be on Team NXT, forsake his team like Judas, left them high and dry. We did not hear an official count out for Trick when he abandoned his team. Nothing of the sort. I just have one question, Scott.
Here we go.
How can Santino be mad at a man that gave you the win? He hand-delivered you a victory by being a traitor to his own brand, wearing your championship belt. You should give the man a raise and a bonus for doing a job well done, for being a fucking mole for your team. What a dumb finish.
Oh man. Where so I didn't like anything about this match. Not a single thing. The Survivor Series match is one of my favorite concepts in matches. I think about Randy Orton having to run through Evolution to get a title match at Triple H. I think about Dolph Ziggler and his big comeback. Kofi Kingston rolling up CM Punk and getting pushed right into a Trouble in Paradise and pinning Randy Orton back to back. Like all these great moments I can think of. And then there's this. Y'all give me this. Miles Bourne, thanks for showing up. You pulled a Mike Knox. Okay? There was a Survivor Series where Mike Knox was on a team and Shawn Michaels kicked him in the face and he asked Triple H, who was that? And they didn't know. That's what they did to Miles Bourne here. You got pinned by Frankie Kazarian, so let's not even get started there. That's not a good start. Okay, where's Steve Macklin? Secondly, and then we got Evans getting pinned off of springboard cross bodies. I ain't seen nobody lose to that in 2K. So I definitely shouldn't be having Evans lose to that there. And then instead of Trick, like he got mad because he wasn't there, and none of that made sense. So now you have your new NXT champion in his first match since winning the title. You have this man not pin, everybody, but he pins a couple people, not convincingly. Like you act like this man was beat down the whole match. This was just, and then you end the show. You end the show on a tie. They're like, oh, it's cool. We tied. Great. Like, what? You have TNA standing tall, Mike Santana and Moose standing tall over your NXT champion. Baffling. Like, this is baffling. You made Ricky look like a chump. Trick Williams looks like an idiot because nobody, and then like you said, nobody counted him out. There was this was awful, absolutely awful.
This was a hot mess wrapped in a train wreck in a dumpster fire, and I did not love this match either. I thought like I was going to get a showcase with Leon Slater and Javon Evans. I barely got to see them ball out. I guess we have to pay to see it on Sunday when they fight for the X Division Championship. It's just the booking of this match was such a choice, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't. And you made Ricky Saints look so weak by losing this match in the manner in which he did. Now, if you had Obafemi come out there to cost the team, I could believe that. I could believe that versus Trick just walking out on his team. Because why did you want to be on the team so badly if you're going to walk out due to ego? Because are you building towards Ricky Saints and Trick at Halloween Havoc? Potentially they are. Maybe, perhaps. But it's just the booking of it was so bad. And it doesn't make TNA look good when you have someone just basically give up on their team by default and give you the W. When that team is at a disadvantage, when you're up, 3-1? And that's how you win the match, essentially. Definite choices there. So I did not like the match at all. I thought the layout was bad. I thought the finish was bad. The booking was bad. All of it was bad. And overall, I thought this show was pretty bad outside of one match that was a glimmer, shining bright light in a sea of whatever this was. And I am so glad we're back to regularly scheduled programming next week to just get back to whatever this is, because this was not great at all.
No, we're not. Ava was like, "Oh, bring the ladies back next week." It's so we whooped their tails so great this week. Oh, bring them back next week. We're gonna whoop them again. Yeah. Can't wait. What TNA talent do I want to see challenge? Challenge JC Jane for the title. Not a single one.
No.
Not a single one of them.
Soft division right now, must say. Very soft. Very soft right now. Not great. And I think one of my other issues with this division, and honestly how the match was laid out for both the men and the women, was the fact that this needed to be 5-on-5 and not 4-on-4. Why they want to cap it off at 4, I don't know. Yeah, Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace as referees, they couldn't be a part of these teams, and you couldn't find a 5th, which was very easily for both of these teams to make this make sense and to raise the stakes for winning this match besides winning from my brand. Like, what would have meant more than this versus some caveat to winning, such as next week's Battle Royal? The winners get in automatically. I don't know. Help me.
No. You're onto something. It could have very simply been whoever wins this. And first of all, if you're having a competition, you don't have even matches. It's a best of 5. You don't do 4. Because what? So, but you could have easily done. Yeah, if you guys win, if you win the women's match, then it'll be a battle royal of all TNA women, and whoever wins that will vie for the NXT title, or vice versa for whoever wins. Very easily could have been done, and now you have a nice little crossover that can continue for Halloween Havoc, because nothing's important is going to happen on Halloween Havoc anyway. You're going to have some type of pumpkin match. Somebody's getting their head put in a pumpkin anyway, so why not have it be a TNA talent? They're used to dressing up in turkey costumes for Thanksgiving, so why not do a pumpkin for Halloween? You on to something for real. They could have easily did that, but no. This was an awful show. The less said about it, the better. We need to just scrap this, keep it moving on the Halloween Havoc.
Yes, on to the road towards building that show. And Fernando notes, just a few years ago, TNA had the best women's division in wrestling. That was memories, man. They don't have it right now. It is very weak. It is very weak for various reasons. And some is simply beyond their control, but it is a very weak division. And that's something they need to cultivate if they get this new TV deal. They got to re-up, got to work on some things, because that was their bread and butter for a very long time. And, when they let go of Gail Kim, it just seems like it went downhill, didn't it? Huh? And I can say a lot about Gail recently, but I will say that division was ran competently when she was booking it.
You're not wrong. So, and I get there's some people out, and there's also some women who are really good, but nobody probably just wants to wrestle her. So that's probably why she's not showing up. So there's that. I mean, she's really good, but everybody, I'm good on her. I'm all right.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. The less said about her, the better. As
we now is actually probably like, I wish she actually, you know what? Bring her. I would love to wrestle her.
Oh man. Well, that was that show. It was a show indeed. As we now get into our crown jewel preview to wrap up the show, our preview and predictions for the show going down this Saturday from Perth, Australia. Bright and early Saturday morning, 8 a.m. I'll be up. I'll be watching it, and I'm looking forward to the show. So let's get the card out right now. And of course, it's going to be the Triple H special. I'll give you 5 matches. And our first match is going to be in the order, and I think where it's going to happen, because Roman wants to get out early. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. I predicted that Roman's going to win this match pretty handedly, but I should be thoroughly entertained by the mayhem and violence of it all.
Yeah, I agree. Roman Reigns will win this, but I think this will be a really, really good match. Crowd's going to be hot for it.
I absolutely agree. Should be very good. I expect some cheers for Bronson since he is from Australia. Going to get some love in Perth. I do believe that. Should be a really, really fun match. Next match of note will be Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors in a tag team match. This could be And depending how the rest of this night goes, the best match on the show. They're going to ball out. The stories, everything is going to be. I don't foresee any double turns or crosses, but I just want this match to be fantastic. Give them time to cook and work. And my prediction will be Rhea and Io get the dub.
I agree with you. And, I agree with you on both topics. Well, this could be match of the night and Io and Rhea winning. This card could be a very strong in-ring PLE if they let them do what they need to do.
Absolutely. This could be far better than whatever the hell WrestlePalooza was just a few weeks ago. This could clear that early in the morning. I do believe that as well. So I got Rhea and Io winning. Then our next match, a match that we thought wasn't going to be possible just a couple of months ago. Just thought it was going to be like a fantasy, like what could have been. But we will see. For the final time, one-on-one, John Cena versus AJ Styles. Two guys who are in the last run of their careers in WWE. And I think that, and I know it could be a tall order with the next two matches, this could be a fantastic match, could very well steal the show. And we know that John and AJ have something to prove. I predict John Cena wins. I'm going to be ballsy enough to say they might go for 5 stars.
Well, I mean, at this point, John Cena's just being a 2K character, so he's throwing out literally every move he's ever taken. He's just doing that to everybody. So yeah, I agree with you. You know what? Because I think we're gonna agree on every match. So I'm gonna just say AJ Styles, just so we don't agree on every match. But
all right.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Cena won. But I'll just go with AJ here because I think we're gonna agree on the next two anyway.
Yeah. Now Fernando makes a very bold suggestion. This would be the best match they ever had together. Now, Royal Rumble 2017 with like a word. Money in the Bank 2016, which is my preferred match, because I thought that their match at SummerSlam was very 2K17 to me. I liked it, but I didn't love it as much as I loved the Money in the Bank match the month before. Could this match clear? I will say it could clear the SummerSlam match. It could. For me,
if it gets to 5, it clears it.
Yes, if it gets to 5, I agree too. So it's a possibility. I just know that both men gonna go out there and say, "Listen, we got a point to prove. We're old, but we still can go, and we're gonna kill it." I do believe that. Like, there's a lot of respect there, appreciation, and this is gonna be their last time in the ring together. So they're gonna go out there and put on the show. 5 stars potentially. Best match they ever had against each other. We'll see. All righty. David, stop.
Shout out to David, man.
David is persistent.
Hey, real quick, David. Who interferes? Who interferes in the match? Real quick, David. Let me know. Who is interfering in this match and pissing everybody off and not getting out the arena safely?
Yeah. Because it's going to be a riot in Perth if we get like a DQ finish, this incredible classic match.
You better not say
Gunther.
Okay, that's enough.
Now, sir, listen. Now, the word on the street is that we're going to do a tournament. So Gunther's not going to come out there with his new nose and cause trouble just yet.
It'll be The Miz.
Oh, fuck. Just cancel the show right now.
Shout out to Carmelo Hayes.
I knew you was going to say something about what happened. But I knew it, but I said, even though I have my serious issues with SmackDown and Road Dogg, we can accept and acknowledge that Carmelo is getting a push. A push where? We don't know, but it is a push. It is a push. Shut up. Hush. Because of Miz, my ass. Okay. Next up, our crown jewel matches. Now, they have deliberately hidden the belts this entire time. So I do wonder if we're physically going to see these expensive ass belts in Perth, because apparently they're on the lock and key in Saudi Arabia. They're not traveling belts. They only come out once a year. They might make the trip. I don't know. They might have the ring in the case. I don't know. But in any event, it's going to be Stephanie Vicaire versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Scott says why. And I have to agree why. But Stephanie, if it's Tiffany, I will throw a television. I will. I have insurance. I can call the Geek Squad.
Well, at least wait till the next match. But I agree with you. Yeah, Stephanie should win this. Hands like convincingly, she should win this.
Yes, she better. I have questions if she doesn't. Serious questions. Alrighty. So it should be. I will say. I will be fair. Oh, Lord, let me pray on this.
This will be the worst match on the show.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then that doesn't mean it's going to be bad though. But this will be the worst match on the show.
I want to believe that Stephanie says not on my watch. Am I having the worst match on this show? Like
Tiffany too. Tiffany can go too. So Tiffany might have that chip too. But I don't know, man. Tiffany been in a little slump.
She been in a that's my worry. She's been in a slump lately. She could be plateauing. That is my worry, my fear, the regression. But when you up in the ring against Stephanie, you can't be plateauing. You can't show regression. You got to be on her level. You talk all this mad stuff on the microphone. I'm this, I'm that. No, you are going up against somebody that's so good that if you can't be on her level, I got questions. And I don't want to have those questions on Saturday. But I promise you, if you don't have a good match against Stephanie, I have questions. And I might have to put a referendum on your championship run. And that's me being real. Because, come on.
They'll have a good match. I don't doubt they'll have a good match. They should have a great match. Like every match on this card should be great. They should have a great match.
Yes. We're going to pray on it, though. We're going to pray. And then our main event. And it's only been the second year they've done this. The most important Crown Jewel Championship match ever. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. These guys are automatic. I don't doubt what they're going to do. They're going to kill it. It's going to be a great match. You're going to ball out, tell a great story. Seth Rollins will win this match.
I think I got Cody, man. I think the story is to be told with Seth losing this match. I think they planted those seeds on Raw, talking about, when he talked to Heyman about what happens to you when I lose. And I thought it was very specific about that. I don't be surprised if Paul Heyman gets back with Voldemort here soon. I just got a funny feeling that's going to happen.
Yeah, I sense that too. Getting back with Redacted. And then we might get the old thumbs down for Seth. And then everybody turns on him. He's on an island all by himself. Got set up.
Hey, I'm going to say this, though. I didn't think about that. But if Brock, Braun, and Bronson.
Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty.
I mean, that's a hell of a visual. That's a hell of a visual right there.
Honestly, more believable than the Vision, if I'm being real.
Vision, first of all, that's not believable. The Vision is a joke. Okay, Braun and Bronson are carrying the Vision. Seth just happens to be really good at his job. The Vision is a joke.
Oh, you mean Vision works?
Yeah. A joke. That is a joke. Everybody's just really good at their job in that group because that group is terrible.
Now, I said that 2 months ago, and I said, how dare I say that? Because I said the chemistry wasn't there. And now my co-captain is saying, well, you're right. I tried to tell you, I like everybody individually. Collectively, they have no chemistry together. It just doesn't mesh. It's a mess.
Braun and Bronson mesh. They work well together.
They do. But the idea like Seth doesn't need Paul to talk for him. He doesn't need a faction to back him up unless it's the Shield. Let's be for real. So it just doesn't work that way. And another issue that I'm having is that they don't have chemistry. It reminds me a lot of Judgment Day 2022 before Edge left. It's what it's given right now. It's very vanilla.
Hopefully it's coming to an end soon. So that's why I got Cody winning. I think we're coming to the end of this this experiment here.
Yeah, we need to like abort the mission. It's been fun, but we need to let it go. Now I have to call out David because he snuck one up in here. He snuck one up in here under our nose, Scott. I'm just going to send it here without comment. You read through it.
Stephanie is a technical. Tiffy is the high flyer. Why do I get the feeling that Charlotte Flair is going to interfere? I don't know. Probably the same reason that you think Gunther is going to interfere in the Cena AJ match. So I don't know why you're getting that feeling. Because I don't get that feeling. I don't even think Charlotte's going to be there, to be honest with you. So,
oh, she'll be there.
Well, she won't be at that match. I can tell you that.
No, she'll be at the Sydney Zoo playing with koala bears. That's where she'll be at with Alexis. So
yeah, that's probably true.
With Alexa. Alrighty. So that is our Crown Jewel preview for this Saturday. Should be a better show than WrestlePalooza. I'll be up at 8:00 in the morning watching it. I'll be tweeting if I need to. I'll be in the chats where I need to be to talk about it, which is going to be the place to be. And then we're going to be back presumably on Saturday evening with Gigi to talk about the highs and lows from Crown Jewel at a time to be determined. Be on the lookout for that. But before we go, as we always tend to do on this show, it's now time to scour the shows we watch all throughout the week to see which thing stood out as our match of the week.
Yeah, so for me, my match of the week is going to be Tony Khan versus the new rating system. Whew. Lord knows that ain't going to help in the negotiations coming up. But yeah, Tony Khan versus the new rating system. And not only it's going to affect everyone, but it seemed to affect Dynamite a lot. Got the boom. And I'm not talking about the guys who sell the food.
God.
Nah, man. I bet you Title Tuesday was a lot better than whatever the hell Showdown was. I can tell you that. I should have watched Kyle versus Kyle too.
Yeah, in terms of the wrestling,
wrestling
it cleared. What was fascinating is that they really did not compete head to head. I went back and forth. NXT did not do a lot of picture in picture. They did it maybe once or twice at the top of the hour and during the main event. They did not try to keep you glued to the screen. And when I flipped to AEW, they were in commercial mode every time I flipped. So this was not a head-to-head. We're going to try to one-up each other. They just realized the Yankees are on. We're getting our asses kicked. Yeah. So, like, whatever. It's Tuesday. Whoever wins, wins. It'll be like a Pyrrhic victory, whatever. That's what it was giving for both shows, honestly. So if whoever wins, congratulations. The rating system is new. It's like big data panel. You're basically accounting for if you have cable or satellite or another subscription service. If you have a smart TV, they're counting your devices now, more so than those boxes in the household in Nielsen. So they're trying to take an encapsulation of all the viewership during the day. If you got your TV on looking at a show, they're trying to average it out that way. Some numbers are higher than others. I know that for wrestling, it's been really low. I cover soaps too. Those demos are also really soft. So hopefully in the weeks to come, the numbers balance out. But the question becomes for Tony Khan, the demos are one thing, but what we don't know and what we need to figure out is the HBO Max numbers. Are they lifting the demos up from what we see just on just surface level stuff via the ratings report every week? We don't know because they keep that data very close to the chest.
It's 500,000. 500,000 every week.
Well, then you could be right. You could be right.
Could be right. Could be 5,000. Fernando, that was probably my second match of the week, Sami Zayn versus Aleister Black, but I really enjoyed the Mustafa Ethan Page match.
That was really, really, really good, gotta say. All righty, so that's a wrap for this week's episode of The Wrap right here on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel. Week 2 of going live. Hopefully we get more people checking us out, still starting this thing fresh and new. We're going to build the audience. Thank you to Fernando and David. Yep. David, as you also said, that Cody will have Jacob Fatu come to the ring and assist him against Seth and his crew. Well, that's probably one of your better predictions. That doesn't sound
21 realistic ones.
Yes, one of the more probable ones that is still far-fetched. But David, you're persistent, and we do appreciate you for that. Okay. Alrighty, so I want to thank Scott as always for joining me to recap the week so far in WWE as we get ready for Crown Jewel in Perth this Saturday.
Thank you for having me, Keila. As always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. I look forward to the week that we got. I think, like I said, I think Perth's going to be a really good show. And I look forward to next week.
Me too. So we'll be back possibly maybe Saturday evening with Gigi to talk about Crown Jewel. Then we'll be back here next Tuesday evening around 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern to talk about the week so far in WWE, more Crown Jewel thoughts, a full recap of Monday Night Raw, and of course, whatever is happening on NXT as the road to Halloween Havoc begins. And some Bound for Glory talk as well, depending how those championships check out for Trick versus Santana, and of course, Javon versus Leon Slater for the X Division title. So until then, enjoy the week ahead. Enjoy Crown Jewel this Saturday. And until next Tuesday night at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern right here on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel, for myself and for salty babyface Scott Young, that is a wrap for all things WWE. Take care and bye-bye.